fall out of this tree, you're on fire.
Yes, Your Honor. The spark came and flew out on the tree. The tree was on fire, and I was on fire as well.
I'm looking at your arm.
Yes, sir.
You got some bad burns. You're asking this court to award you $400,000.
This is not our fault, Your Honor. If he wasn't there, he wouldn't have sustained those injuries.
When I touch them together, the arc is created, which, as you can see, can cause these leaves to burn.
Did you see him catch on fire and fall out of the tree?
I was really panicked and I just...
God knows what's good for you. What we do for love.
Judge Gino Brogdon spent 10 years on the bench ruling on cases worth billions of dollars. Now he presides over some of the largest claims in TV history. This is Personal Injury Court.
Good day, everyone. This is the matter of Shanahan versus Masters. Ms. Shanahan, it's my understanding you are suing the Masters for injuries that your son sustained when he visited their home. You're asking this court to award you $100,000 for past medicals, $50,000 for future medicals, $250,000 for your son's pain and suffering, for a total award of $400,000. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. and Mrs. Masters, you've been sued. You believe this is not your fault, that Mr. Shanahan is responsible for his own injuries because he shouldn't have been on your property. True?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let's get into the legal sauce. What's your son's relationship with the Masters?
So, Your Honor, my son is going out with Sophia Masters. They've been dating for 2 years.
And in that time, you all have had a pretty good relationship?
Yes, Your Honor. Sophia and I, we met 2 years ago back in our sophomore science class. We had a science project that we had to work on together, and right from the beginning, we just kicked it off. And first time I went over to their house, I just didn't get the best vibe from Mr. Masters. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know any dad that's saying, welcome, come see my daughter, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Masters, 2 years dating your daughter, you all got to know Mr. Shanahan, right?
He's a good kid, but, Your Honor, our daughter Sophia is a driven, ambitious young woman.
Okay.
And we are not going to let anyone or anything distract her from that. She is on track to go to college.
Okay.
And
Did you all think that Billy was a distraction?
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
So, were you drawing Sophia down? Were you dragging her down?
No, Your Honor. I mean, we both studied together. We both had a pretty good GPA. I mean, she was going to go to an Ivy League college.
How about you? You going to college?
I had a scholarship to play baseball, and it was a full ride, so it paid for everything, and I depended on it.
So you have a lot on the line for these injuries.
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me what happened. How did you get hurt?
Well, Your Honor, it was around December time, and the winter formal was coming up. I wanted to do something sweet for Sophia. You know, all my friends were doing promposals for their girlfriends, so I wanted to do something sweet. So I made her a "Will you go to the formal" sign with me.
That sounds like a marriage proposal. Well, things have really changed. Back in my day, you just kind of very shyly ask.
I wanted to be sweet for Sophia. You know, she's my girlfriend.
That is a beautiful thing. So what happened?
And so I got to their house, got to the tree, climbed the tree, as I always do when I always go over there. And
so maybe Mr. Masters ought to be a little suspicious.
Well,
if
they
climbed the trees to get in.
Well, I climbed the tree many times, Your Honor. Like I said, I've done it for the past 2+ years, and I was going to knock on the window and display the sign. I noticed there was a branch that was caught inside the Christmas lights, and when I went to go knock on the window, the branch, I guess, snapped the Christmas lights. A spark came and flew out on the tree. One thing led to another. I noticed the tree was on fire, and I was on fire as well. I looked around, and I was in shock.
Your clothes and your skin were on fire. I'm looking at your arm.
Yes, sir.
You got some bad burns.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're in this tree on fire from the tree catching on fire?
Yes, and it started to shake, and I got nervous, so I didn't know what to do, so I jumped out. And when I hit the ground, I fell 12 feet, and I noticed I was still on fire, so I just started screaming as loud as I could to see if someone could hear
So
me.
when you fall out of this tree, you're on fire.
Yes, Your Honor. Broke my left arm and my left leg. I have a rod that's placed inside my left leg.
Yes, sir.
the way Sophia was screaming, I thought someone had died. My husband immediately put the fire out, did he could to comfort Billy. We got blankets for him. We called 911 immediately. It was traumatic. It was horrible. And unfortunately, he was there after curfew. He should not have been there. This was not our fault, Your Honor.
Well, you say curfew. What do
Yes.
you mean? I know what a curfew is, but what was the curfew?
Your Honor, we have
Sophia.
a curfew for our daughter. She is still 17. The curfew's at 21:30. That's 9:30 for civilians. So everybody should know what time.
Military, man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you for your
25 years
service.
of military.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your service. So the curfew was pretty strict, 9:30.
Strict and known, Your Honor.
Well, known to your daughter, how would Billy know that?
They've been dating for, Your Honor, they've been dating for several years. It's been in effect since he's been around.
Now he tells me some stories about climbing that tree more than once.
And you know what, Your Honor? I called his mother about him sneaking over after curfew. I called her several months before this accident happened.
Miss Shanahan, you remember getting those calls?
I did, Your Honor. But you know what? They're 17. They're gonna do whatever they want to do. If their 9:30 curfew wasn't as early, he wouldn't be sneaking around. He's just trying to do what's best and trying to surprise Sophia.
He wasn't being
But a
respectful.
curfew is in place for a reason, right? I mean, just because he's 17 doesn't mean he doesn't have any rules, right?
Coming up.
Hey, baby girl, have a surprise for you. Leave the gate open for me. She says ILYSM with an exclamation point.
That was a green light go for me.
I've made those mistakes in my past. Did you see these lights as you were climbing this tree?
Billy knew the lights were there, Your Honor, because he helped put them up this year.
Mr. Morton, you are an electrician.
Yes, sir.
Is it fair to say that this setup was safe or wasn't safe?
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
You're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go.
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month of cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Start the timer. Are you ready?
Maggie has always wanted more, so she got Blink Smart Home Security with the Blink app. Only the Blink app gives you Blink Moments, which stitches together footage from all your cameras. So you can see what happened in an instant.
Oh, boomer.
Really?
Get more of the story with the app that gives you more. Blink and get more.
Experience the incredible true story of Clarissa Shields.
My baby going to the left.
If I'm trying for this level, I'm gonna need exactly what the man gave.
This way bigger than box with a fire inside. AT&T.
I got to their house, climbed the tree, branch, I guess, snapped to the Christmas lights. The tree was on fire, and I was on fire as well.
He was there after curfew. He should not have been there. This was not our fault, Your Honor.
Well, you knew about the curfew, right?
I knew of the curfew. It wasn't set in stone, but you know, Mr. Masters told me.
Well, says who though? It wasn't in your stone. Sounds like Mr. Master's stone is pretty dry.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you knew about the curfew. You just kind of were compelled by love.
Well, I did text Sophia earlier that day, and I told her, I was like, hey, I want to stop by your house really quickly. You know, it's going to be maybe 10 minutes.
Did you bring that text with you?
Yes, Your Honor, I have proof right here.
All right, Sheriff Matt, will you get the text from Mr. Shanahan?
Thank you.
So you say, hey, baby girl, have a surprise for you. Leave the gate open for me. It's 9:47 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then she says, ILYSM with an exclamation point at 9:49 p.m. And since I'm not a young man, what does that mean to you?
Well, with the smiley face and it means I love you so much. You know, that was a green light go for me.
You thought it was okay to come on over because Sophia said she loves you so much.
Yes, Your Honor.
I've made those mistakes in my past.
He did not ask our permission.
But your daughter does live there with you, and you all can see, though, how Billy would say, aha, I'm supposed to come over, right? Billy, tell me about your injuries.
The doctor told me that I suffered from third-degree burns on both my head and my right arm. And I also broke my left arm, and I now have a rod in my left leg.
So had this not happened, you'd be on your way to college to play baseball.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Do you all at least see that this young man's life has been changed?
We understand, Your Honor, that his life has been changed, but this is not our fault, Your Honor. If he wasn't there, he wouldn't have sustained those injuries.
Next.
Sophia, tell me about this experience for you.
It was Billy that fallen out of the tree. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know this was tough for you.
Hot conductor here, the neutral conductor there. When I touch them together, the arc is created, which, as you can see, cause these leaves to burn.
What would happen to cause this fire in the tree?
There were a few things wrong.
I'm ready to render my decision.
I wanted to do something sweet, so I made her a will you go to the formal sign with me. I got to their house, got to the tree, climbed the tree.
So you're in this tree on fire from the tree catching on fire?
Yes, Your Honor.
The way Sophia was screaming, I thought someone had died.
So, you know, we've been talking here all day and hadn't heard from Sophia. This is Sophia.
Yes.
Miss Masters, would you stand up and come stand beside your dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sophia, tell me about this experience for you. You're in your room that night. Did you see him catch on fire and fall out of the tree?
I heard it. I'm sorry. My window is slightly ajar, and because there's an extension cord running out to connect to the Christmas lights in the tree, and so I heard rustling in the tree, and I was really excited. And then I heard a loud pop, and then I saw a bright orange light, and then I just heard screaming and a thud, and of course it was Billy that had fallen out of the tree, and I was really panicked, and I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to my parents I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know this was tough for you.
I'm really sorry, you guys.
It's not your fault, baby.
Now, Mr. Masters, y'all had an extension cord sticking out of the window?
Your Honor, yes, we did. We do this every year. I do a Christmas display.
Now, this is your house.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's quite a display there.
It is. Your Honor, I enter a Christmas contest every year. So naturally, my Christmas display is going to get bigger and bigger.
I take it you win.
Not every year, Your Honor, but I give it a worthy try.
Now, you have this extension cord going from Sophia's bedroom window out to the tree to light up the lights that are inside the tree.
Yes, Your Honor.
Billy, did you see these lights as you were climbing this tree?
Yes, Your Honor. The lights were there. I mean, they were lit up, but you know,
And
they
they're
were
dangerous.
very dangerous.
They're very dangerous, Your Honor.
Well, if you knew they were dangerous, why you climbed the tree?
Well, like I said,
Billy knew the lights were there, Your Honor, because he helped put them up this year.
So you helped put the lights up?
That every year,
The Christmas lights that I use are within regulation. They're within safety parameters. I only use so many strands per line. I use electrical tape and I use the safety regulations
And
put
what
out in the
socket
website for the
is
Christmas
the
contest.
fee
And you believe it's okay to to use an extension cord to light up the lights in a Christmas tree?
Yes, Your Honor. I use the appropriate amount of outlets, and there's only 3 strands per outlet within regulations.
Well, to further understand how you hook these up safely, this court has consulted an electrical expert, Mr. Charles Morton. Sheriff Matt, will you get Mr. Morton?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Morton, for the record, you are an electrician, right?
Yes, sir.
You've reviewed the evidence. What would happen to cause this fire in the tree?
I actually brought a video that demonstrates how something like this could.
All right, let's take a peek at it. So walk me through this.
Okay, so what you see here is my hand holding a hot conductor here, the neutral conductor there. When I touch them together, the arc is created, which, as you can see, cause these leaves to burn.
You saw the pictures of the giant Christmas display that the Masters had. I mean, is that safe?
They were smart to limit the number of lights that they put on the circuit. However, there were a few things wrong. It didn't meet code because they didn't use GFCI protection, which is something that prevents water from causing a fire if it's introduced into the circuit. The second problem was that they actually taped the conductors together. So once pulled apart, all you have there is copper, hot conductor, neutral conductor, as you just saw in the video. Once they touch, arc created, tree catches on fire.
So is it fair to say that this setup was safe or it wasn't safe?
I would say it was not safe.
You heard that, Mr. Masters?
Your Honor, I did.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. You're released.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, those conductors would never have been touching, and as the gentleman said, the water would never have been introduced into the circuit if Billy hadn't been in the tree.
Well,
It was Billy climbing the tree and knocking the branch down that damaged the lights that started the fire.
Also putting your daughter on crisis here.
Folks, I think I've heard what I need to hear. I'm ready to render my decision.
The verdict is in.
Now, you put up evidence that they kind of hooked up these Christmas lights in a way that if undisturbed, there's no problem. But if disturbed, the consequences are devastating. Mr. and Mrs. Masters, you raised a really good point. Had Billy not gotten up in that tree, this unsafe situation would never have happened. Had Billy observed the curfew, and frankly, had your daughter observed the curfew, this wouldn't have happened. There's a lot of moving parts here.
Philistines have assembled.
Okay, I will fight the giant.
Can one stone change the course of history?
Start the timer. Are you ready?
You fall out of this tree, you're on fire.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it fair to say that this setup was safe or it wasn't safe?
I would say it was not safe.
It was Billy climbing the tree and knocking the branch down that damaged the lights that started the fire.
I'm ready to render my decision. In every personal injury case, the person who is suing the plaintiff, you have to prove 3 things. You've got to prove that the defendant, the person you're suing, did something wrong, and their wrong caused your harm. The harm is undisputed. You've had terrible injuries, and who knows what that's going to do to your college baseball career. I hope you get to play. Here, your injuries are not in dispute. I've got to decide whether they were wrong. Now, you've put up evidence that they kind of hooked up these Christmas lights in a way that if undisturbed, there's no problem. But if disturbed, the consequences are devastating. Here, you climb the tree, disturb what was an unsafe situation, and suddenly you burst into flames, the tree bursts into flames, and your life is changed forever. Mr. and Mrs. Masters, you raised a really good point. Had Billy not gotten up in that tree, this unsafe situation would never have happened. Had Billy observed the curfew, and frankly, had your daughter observed the curfew, this wouldn't have happened. There's a lot of moving parts here. But in all the evidence, I believe you have proven that the Masters were wrong.
Yes, Your Honor.
That they should not have hooked these lights up this way. You've proven that their wrong was part of the cause of your harm. The other part is your wrong. You should not have ignored the curfew. You should not have been in that tree. You should not have climbed up there when you had lights. Now, whenever both parties have contributed to a result, I, as the judge, have to look at the fault and compare them. That's called comparative fault. Here, I find that you are equally at fault. And despite the severity of your injuries and the long-lasting effects, when you're equally at fault, comparative fault under the law says you lose. I find for the Masters and against you, and that is my final verdict, and this matter is adjourned.